Let's try this one more time, folks. And we're live here on Facebook. I'd like to welcome those listening in podcast land, and as well as my buddy Rich. Rich, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Mike, and also welcome to everybody watching us on YouTube as well. No matter where you're listening to us at, make sure to give us a like and a subscribe, as well as leave us a comment. If you comment on the YouTube or on the podcast, we'll make sure to give you a shout out next week. If you comment on the Facebook Live episode, we'll make sure to get it at the end of the show. And for those watching us that follow us on YouTube, sorry about the second notification that you probably got about us going live, as we lost our feed on the first try.
Yeah.
For some reason. All right, Mike, so it's Good Friday. Neither of us are working, obviously. It was a good short work week, as most 4-day work weeks are. So we got a big show today, a lot of things to talk about. Probably starting off in the NASCAR corner and then telling you about the week in Cubs baseball and share some news and notes with you. Mike, what else are we going to be talking about?
We're going to be talking about the NFL draft, potentially, and we also have some NBA and USFL to talk about. All that and more, but first, let's not roll the intro and just head right into our poll question, Rich.
That's right. So our poll question this week centered around Cubs songs. So we had Go Cubs Go, All the Way by Eddie Vedder, and Hey Hey Holy Mackerel. So Mike, where'd you vote?
I voted for Go Cubs Go, because it's always a good day when you get to hear that song.
It is. I went with Hey Hey Holy Mackerel. You always hear it played on the organ when you're walking in the Wrigley Field.
It's true.
It's got a classic song, and you're guaranteed to hear it every single Cubs game.
And you know what's even better?
What's that?
A bad day at the Cubs game is better than a good day at work.
That's right, Mike. So how did the people vote, Mike?
We got 9 votes for Go Cubs Go. 2 votes for Hey Hey Holy Mackerel. And no votes for Eddie Vedder.
All right, that's fine. I figured going with this question that Go Cubs Go was going to win, but you still had to give people options.
Yeah, you got to give them options.
All right, so this week, with the NBA playoffs starting, or they've already started if you got the play-in tournament.
Those are not playoff games.
They got to win to get into the playoffs.
The stats do not count as playoff stats.
Okay.
But they don't count as regular season stats.
So it's bonus basketball.
Sure. They count as play-in stats.
Okay. So we're going to go with the basketball songs. So we're going to go with Basketball Jones, One Shining Moment, and you suggested Be Like Mike when you originally kind of threw out this idea of doing songs.
Yeah.
I kind of see Be Like Mike as more of a jingle, but we'll throw it in there.
They made a whole song out of it. They even made a movie out of it.
Okay.
But yeah, so we'll go with that. That should go live tomorrow at noon on our Facebook page, on our Facebook fan page. So
Yeah.
Rich, do you see what's coming up next?
Is it a left turn, Mike?
Yes, it is. What's after that, Rich?
That's probably another left turn.
Why is that, Rich?
Because we're heading into the NASCAR corner, presented as always by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois, down on 5th Avenue in downtown. Or you can check them out on their eBay store, Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated.
Yeah. So this week we had the Blue Emu 400 at Martinsville. How much did you get to watch, Rich?
I watched all the game. No, I watched the entire race.
Yep.
No NASCAR nap.
No, us too. I mean, it was too late for a NASCAR nap. At that point, it becomes a NASCAR sleep, and then you wake up the next morning and you don't know what's happening.
Yeah, that's right. It was a night race.
Danielle fell asleep at the end of the race. She went to a musical she went to see Mamma Mia up there.
Okay.
And we had a birthday party for my little girl before that. And then she went to see the musical. And then Dad and I watched the race. Mm-hmm. And Danielle got home just in time for the last few laps. After that, we're good to go.
All right.
So
it's always good.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mike, your winner, William Byron, who was
Wait. You picked William Byron.
I did pick William Byron.
That means you get 2 points.
That does.
Man.
That is correct.
See, this is how Rich does it every year, folks. I pick more. I win more in our competition. Rich picks more winners, so he wins in the points.
I do. Or at least that's what it's been the past couple of years.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mike, your dad's pick of Cryo Bush came in 7th. Your pick of Kevin Harvick came in 14th.
Ooh, that's rough.
But it was a good race. It seemed like it was going to be a Hendricks car that was going to win.
Yeah. And
with the way that they were going, because I think even Kyle Larson had a top 10 finish.
Yep. Chase Elliott was the crown of the field most of the race. Had some late race stuff going on, some pit stop changes that were different, and got him out of the same. And so William Byron takes the win.
Yeah. All right. So Mike, NASCAR is going to be on Easter Sunday. Normally, they haven't raced on Easter Sunday since the 70s.
Wow.
I guess. So, and it's going to be a night race at Bristol on the dirt.
Wow. So one of my favorite YouTubers just did a race in the late model cars on the dirt. And apparently there are spots on the dirt that are 5 feet deep.
Really?
Yeah. It'll be an interesting race. It's one of those races that if you're doing fantasy NASCAR with us, it's hard to tell who's going to win.
It really is. You almost have to treat it like a super speedway. So you don't necessarily want to put people on the active roster that you want to have, that you plan on using for those later races leading into the playoffs. So you almost treat it like a super speedway race.
Yep. So, Rich, you have honors this week.
I do. First time. It took me 5 weeks to get the first pick. So I'm going to go with Christopher Bell.
Ooh, that's a good pick. I like that pick. Anybody really does have a good chance here. So I can't say, yeah. I am going to pick, you didn't put it on the outline.
You had?
Oh, yeah, I had Martin Truex Jr. the third. Martin Truex Jr. Yeah. So Martin Truex.
Martin Truex.
What do you think?
Not a bad pick. Because even though like you hear about guys saying, well, he's had experience racing on dirt, or he raced on like Eldora in the Truck Series race, you still don't know what's going to happen because this is a new track type for the next gen car.
Yeah,
so and even if you say, well, like guys like Larson or Bell or Bisco or Harrison Martin raced on the dirt in the Truck Series, it's different in the NASCAR, and you still don't even know how the next gen car is going to handle on it. So I don't really put too much stock into the whole he has experience racing on dirt argument.
I couldn't agree more. We'll see how it comes out. I don't know that anybody knows who's going to win. It's going to be a fun race, though.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't get rained out and pushed back to Monday, I'm going to be happy with the results, no matter how well my driver does and no matter how well your driver does.
I have Monday off, so I'm okay.
I don't. I got to go back into work on Monday.
Okay. Well, this has been the NASCAR Corner, presented by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, 5th Avenue, Moline. Check them out for all your sports memorabilia needs, either in person or at their eBay store. Once again, that's Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. Rich, we've had a full week of baseball.
We have
the first full week of the season. Since last week, we only had one game to talk about. How have you felt about the Cubs so far?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Not too bad.
I think they're doing better than I thought they would, even though I predicted that they would go 4 wins show to show. I did that because I was trying to give some positivity.
Okay.
We went 3
Yeah.
Which is what you predicted.
3-2. So being 3-2, that overall 4-2, they're a half game up in the Central.
Hey, look at
the
that.
First week.
Look at that. We're in first place. I don't expect that to last much longer than, today. But, Rich, what's their schedule this upcoming week?
All right. So this week, they're going to be in Denver for 2 more games. That can't be right. 2 or 3 games.
3 games.
3 games in Denver. 3 with the Rays in Wrigley, and then they get 2 with the Pirates before we record again. So that's 6 games, Mike. How are you thinking they're going to do?
I think they can pull 500 off in this trip. The Rockies, they should get one more against the Rockies. One against the Rays should be pretty doable, especially at home. Come on now. And then the Pirates, we got to get at least one out of those, shouldn't we?
We should.
So we'll go with 3.
Knowing that there's an extra game there because I miscalculated, I'm going to give them 4 wins, Mike.
Well, I hope
the Rays kind of are struggling a little bit. They're battling through some injuries. Denver's kind of a toss-up. You never know what you're going to get down in Denver, and it's Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So I don't mind that, but I'm still not doing it.
Okay.
I don't trust it. So, from the world of the Cubs to the world of MLB, couple big stories this week to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you want to pick the good one, the bad one, or the ugly one? There's only 2, so one of them's bad and ugly all at the same time.
No, I got a third one for you,
Oh.
and I'll give you this one too, since we really didn't talk about it. What do you think of Gabe Kapler's, the Giants manager's, thoughts on the unwritten rules of baseball?
I didn't hear them.
They were up by 6. Batter steals second base, up by that much. And they had a player bunt for a hit.
Wow.
At this point, the Giants were up into the double digits. I think between 11 and 13 runs. And that's also the game that leads into one of our other stories, because I guess Padres, former Cardinals manager, and now Padres bench coach remarked to the first base coach, "Hey, you gotta control that." Insert a non-appropriate word for our family show, and that got him ejected from the ball game. Which caused history to be made when Alyssa Niken became the first female to coach on the field in baseball history.
So the first half of that story is ugly. The second half is good. Oh, man.
So unwritten rules of baseball. They play till the last out. They're not going to call off the dogs. They're going to keep the pedal to the metal and keep going.
So those unwritten rules, I think some of the unwritten rules we need to revisit and kind of tweak. That one, I think, by way of, if nothing more, we need to understand it's early in the season.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where were they playing?
I believe the game was in San Francisco.
So it's not chilly, but it's not hot yet.
Mm-hmm.
When you play at a higher level like that, you put yourself at more risk for injury. I would say I don't like it. I don't mind you saying you play to the last out, but stealing a base, you're risking injury.
Okay.
Bunting for a hit, probably not really risking an injury, but having to dig it out as hard as you're going to have to, you're probably putting some extra strain that doesn't need to be there.
Okay.
I think analytics would say you only got to win by 1. Why do you need these? What does the extra do for you? And more on that, I would say somebody needs to get hit by a baseball.
Yeah. And by all means, Gabe Kapler is expecting that, and he's okay with that.
I would say, and if you're one of the mature players, do you Bull Durham it while you're sitting there? Say, hey, tell your guy to hit me. We deserve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it's me, if I'm up to bat, I say, and it's my first at bat of the next game that we played, Giants and who?
Padres.
Yeah. If I'm playing the Padres, I lean down and I say, hey, I'm ready for it. Just make sure it's in my ass. Sorry for that word.
So is that like, so if you were the player that bunted and got on first, then hey, I'll take one.
I'm definitely taking it.
Taking one, or if you're the guy that steals the base and you're telling the shortstop or the second baseman, hey, I'm just playing the game. If you want to get me, let them know.
I take the hit. I don't care. Even if I'm a player that wasn't involved in either of those plays, as a mature player on the team, I know somebody's got to take a hit. You have to. Somebody's got to take the punishment. I'll step up and take it.
Yeah.
You can't let that go. And so the Padres owe it.
And if you're going to have the unwritten rules of baseball, you've got to honor them. You've got to honor them.
Yeah.
All right. So Alyssa Niken, she's I believe she's like a quality control coach, but also does things with base running and outfield play. So she typically during the game, she's in the tunnel watching the games.
Yeah.
Watching the games. But she always keeps a jersey available. Because being an off-field coach, I think she was saying she usually just wears like a pullover or a hoodie, no uniform, no jersey on, but she got the call to do it. So she grabbed her jersey, grabbed an orange helmet, and headed out and coached first base.
Yeah, it's
for the rest of the game.
Good job on her. I would think I actually have a problem with the fact that she doesn't dress.
So do you have a problem with David Ross wearing the hoodie?
Does he have a jersey underneath?
I don't know.
If he doesn't, yes. I don't care if you wear the hoodie the whole time, but you got to be ready to take that off and have your jersey on for you to go out if you're going to be if you're going to be a coach. Mm-hmm. Everybody dresses for the game.
I can agree with that.
Everybody. You dress head to toe for the game. If you're getting on the field, even better. If you're not, okay. But
all right. So they said that the helmet she wore is on its way to Cooperstown. It's going to be there in the archives, probably on display here sooner. And the last story that we kind of pulled from MLB this week was in Clayton Kershaw's season debut. He's got a no-hitter through 7 innings.
Yep.
And he only pitched 80 pitches.
Yep.
And what does the analytically driven Dodgers manager Dave Roberts do?
Goes and pulls him from the game.
Pulls him from the game. Now, by all means, I mean, Kershaw is saying the right thing, saying, yep, it was the right move to make. It's my first start. It's early in the season, and we had the shortened spring training. It was the right move to make. The team is saying it's the right move to make. But I kind of like what Fergie Jenkins had to say about the whole idea. And he said, I don't care if I've got a broken arm and I've got to roll the ball to the plate. I'm not coming out of the game with a perfect game on the line.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. The other question, I mean, there's guys, I mean, he was 13 strikeouts already. All he needed was 3 more to tie the record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I get the point with it being a shortened spring training and not getting a chance to fully stretch out your pitchers.
Yeah.
And of them pulling it. But at the very least, before he goes out to pitch the 8th inning, tell him, I've got so-and-so ready in the bullpen. As soon as this perfect game is over, whether it's a hit, it's a walk, I'm going to come out and get you.
Okay.
So he knows that going in.
I have some facts here, Rich.
Okay.
Where were they playing the game?
I believe it was a road game?
It was. It was up by me. It's in Minnesota.
We're in Minnesota, okay.
It was 35 degrees.
All right.
He was losing his junk. He didn't have the plays anymore. Wasn't pitching he didn't have the command he needed. It was not he was not in a good spot.
Then let him be the one that loses the no-hitter. That loses the no-hitter or the perfect game, and not the bullpen.
But he's still up. He still gets the W for the game.
Yep.
And also, how many games did he miss last year?
At least half the season. He missed a good chunk of games last year.
Right. And his last game, he came out, and we thought he was going to have Tommy John over winter. That's how bad it was.
I still think you let him pitch to lose the game. Well, that's telling him, all right, so do you want to do an intentional walk so you can lose the perfect game and then I come get you?
And I'm okay if that's what you do, but you got to say either hit this guy or throw or intentional walk. You have to. You cannot let him go out there and actually throw. And you think he's going to go out there and throw around to miss a perfect game?
Probably not.
So then he's going out, because he's Clayton Kershaw, he's going to throw the best thing he can do. And if he gets injured, here's a question. Let's say you let him finish the game. Let's even say he gets a perfect game. Throws 122 pitches. And then he's out for 3 months for his shoulder being too sore. Then what is that a good move?
No, it's not a good move.
Okay. How many games are you going to lose if you lose Clay? What is his WAR?
It's probably pretty high.
He's got a high WAR. You can't risk. Now, I still think you say, okay, you go out there and you tell this is how I handle it.
All right.
And this is how I get in trouble with Clayton. I say, Clayton, you're intentionally walking him. And I say, catcher, you don't squat. You don't do anything. You put your hand out and you wait until the umpire gives him 4 and give that intentional walk. And you do it that way. It's the onus no longer is on Clayton. It's now on your catcher to break. He breaks it technically, but Clayton gets to be out there when it's broken.
Ooh. Okay.
Because Clayton's not going to do it. You know Clayton's not going to do it. And I don't, again, if it wasn't for the fact that if it's June, it's 85 degrees, he's loose, he's limber, he's doing great, half the season is gone, okay. Let him go that 8th. See how he's doing. But this early in the season, not even half of a spring training, and a guy that's coming off of almost having to have surgery that keeps him out for the entire year, you gotta pull him.
We might have to agree to disagree on that. Given your scenarios, I would have to agree with you. Yeah, it was totally the right move to pull him. But wanting to see baseball history, keep him in the game.
But do you have doubt that Kershaw has the ability to do that again?
He could.
So here's the other thing. We say there's only 24 perfect games ever been pitched.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I think it's
like
like 24.
Time of looking at
it might be 28.
It up.
It's under 30. We know it's under 30. You're right. It is a feat. But how many? If I guarantee you, because I've watched plenty of them, I guarantee you there are more perfect games going into the 8th that get broken up in bad ways quickly there.
Mm. Okay.
And so, yes, the analytics also would probably defend that as well. That the perfect game going into the 8th is where you'd lose it. So, okay. Moving on from that, any other baseball topics that you want to talk about?
Not really. So, Mike, there's a new football league starting up.
Yeah.
It's going to be uniquely broadcasted, both the game of the week, New Jersey versus
this week
Birmingham. It's going to be broadcast on both NBC and Fox at the same time.
Wow.
So if you're interested in watching football, you're going to be able to see these games on Fox, FS1, USA, NBC, and Peacock.
Okay. So, there are a couple of different rules that they have.
Yeah, scoring teams will have a third option to attempt an extra point. It'll be a successful scrimmage play from the 10-yard line equals 3 points.
That's weird, but I'm okay with that.
The second option is to retain possession after scoring. Will be converting a 4th and 12 from the team's 33.
And then after that, it's just regular. So if I get to the 21-yard line, if I get to the 20-yard line, I get to retain possession and potentially go for 6 again. Is that what I'm reading?
I guess so. If you convert the 4th and 12, you get to keep possession of the ball.
Okay.
On the team's 33. Overtime, each team's offense will alternate plays against the opposing defense from the 2. Each successful
college.
Yeah, the college overtime rule. They can do 2 forward passes from behind the line of scrimmage.
I like that. I actually like that. That'll make some fun trick play stuff.
All right. Each coach will be allowed 1 replay challenge.
Okay.
Which will be sent to the control center in LA. All kickoffs will be from the 25, and no kicking team member may line up any further back than the 1-yard line. When the receiving team must have at least 8 players in the setup zone between the 35 and the 45. After a kickoff travels 20 yards, the first touch will be by the receiving team. If an untouched kick becomes dead, the ball belongs to the receiving teams at that spot.
Okay.
What are the other things they got, Mike?
On punts, gunners may not line up outside the numbers. They cannot be double team blocked until the ball is kicked. The clock stops for first downs inside the 2-minute warning. Penalties for the defensive pass interference will mirror the NCAA rules with exceptions. First, a defender may intentionally tackle a receiver beyond 15 yards would become a spot foul. Okay. The penalty will be a spot foul if it occurs 15 yards or less. And okay, I don't.
All right. And if a pass does not cross the line of scrimmage, there will be no pass interference or ineligible player downfield penalties.
Okay.
So this begs the question, do you plan to watch? At the very least, they are making it very easy for you to find the games as FS1, Fox, NBC. They're not going to require, even with you having Sling, Mike.
Yeah.
And me sharing your Sling, we can catch those games.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm not overly, if there's nothing else on, sure, why not?
So Friday, Saturday, Sundays, all the games are going to be played in Birmingham, Alabama.
That I think is a little annoying.
Well, that's going to save them money, though.
Yeah.
They're not having to rent and pay for travel.
But what
to get players to these different cities.
But you're saying that the New Jersey
Generals,
how are they New Jersey?
They're taking the names from the original USFL from back in the
But they're the Birmingham Generals.
In theory, yes.
And they're the Birmingham whatevers. I don't know what the team names are.
I don't.
Who cares? That. But they're all the Birmingham. They're not New Jersey. They're not.
Yeah. They are going to play their championship game in Canton, Ohio, though.
Are they going to get to a championship game?
I think that they will.
Over under Do they make it? We'll do one full season. Over under one full season.
Yes.
I'm saying no.
They will make it because they are owned by Fox Sports. Fox
Ooh.
Sports will not want to see it fail. They'll get it through 1 year.
Are they going to renew it for next year?
That's going to be the trick.
I don't think they will. I don't see how they make a second season. I'm already checked out and I haven't even seen a game.
Yeah. It's going to be tough when the XFL comes back too.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be competing. They could be competing for the same players.
Yep.
But if anything, what the USFL has going for them is that they have broadcasting deals.
Yeah.
Even if they lose NBC because NBC drops out because the ratings just weren't there, they at least have the Fox family of networks
Yep.
to fall back on, while the XFL doesn't have broadcast deals announced yet, but they do have partnerships with the NFL to where they're going to be the testing ground for possible new NFL rules, and they have a partnership with the NFL Players Alumni Association, which is kind of like a training ground for players that aren't signed for, don't have practice squad contracts. So their coaches are going to be partnering with the XFL during the NFL
Those
season.
deals are what's going to keep the XFL because they're turning it into a developmental league for the NFL.
Without calling it a developmental league for the NFL.
We all know that it is. I mean, all of their deals have shown that they're a developmental league for the NFL. And that will keep them sustainable.
For the USFL, in my mind, what they need to do is if they make it through 2 years,
They won't.
they need to find a way to partner with the XFL and maybe and whether they go back to actually having it be traditional to where they're playing in home markets like these older spring leagues have done. Maybe you have to where they're not competing in the same markets. Have an XFL conference, have a USFL conference, and name them something different.
Yep.
But I don't think it'll get to that way. I think
Nope.
it seems like
They'll
with
both
the
be
XFL
done.
deals, I think the XFL has a better chance of surviving than the USFL.
Yep. Okay. From the USFL, let's go to. We don't need to talk about the NBA NFL draft. There's nothing really there.
That'll be for next week.
We'll talk about that next week. We'll have. You want to try to put a top 10 or a
Top
mock
10 prediction.
A mock draft for the top 10? A big board?
We
if you
can't
will?
because the draft. We're going to be reacting. No, the 22nd we can't. The 29th
Yeah.
show is when we're
Yes.
previewing. Yeah.
So next week,
Next week, have a top 10 ready.
we'll try to have a top 10 ready. We'll do our mock draft. We'll see where we're going. NBA. Let's get to our predictions in the NBA real quick.
All right. So, Mike, the Eastern Conference, it's going to come down to the results of tonight's playing game between the Hawks and the Cavaliers.
Okay.
As we both that'll come down to the results of that game being that one of us will get all 8 playoff teams for the East right. So if the
High five on that one.
If the Cavs win, you get 6 of 6. If the Hawks win, I get 8 out of 8. As we correctly predicted that the Nets, Raptors, Celtics, Heat, Bulls, Bucks, and the 76ers would all make the playoffs. So it's going to come down to the Heat and the Hawks and the Cavs tonight.
Okay.
The Western Conference, we didn't do as well.
Nope. In fact, our prediction, I'm a give a great big spoiler for the segment. Both of our predictions for who was going to make the finals from the West didn't even make the playoffs.
They didn't. It was the Lakers. So the Timberwolves won their play-in game. They're in.
Yeah.
So they essentially took the Lakers spot, which we predicted. Mike, you had another team. We both had. You picked the Thunder to make the playoffs. I picked the Blazers. Neither of those teams made the playoffs. You will pick up an extra win, going 7 for 8, if the Clippers can win their playing game tonight.
Let's go Clippers.
For double elimination. So as Mike said, we both put the Lakers in the finals. Mike, you had them winning. I had them losing. But they're not making the playoffs. So Mike, I'm going to go with the pre-postseason finals. My preseason, I had the Bucks over the Lakers. So I'm going to keep the Bucks as the winner, and I'm going to have them beating the Golden State Warriors.
Okay, not a bad pick. I am going to go back to the 90s machine.
Okay.
We're going to have the Bulls versus the Suns, and the Bulls are going to win.
Good luck with that one, Mike.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going to do it just for nostalgia's sake. I might actually, if it happens, I'm watching every game of the finals.
Really?
Yeah.
Every game.
Every game. So, okay. From that, let's do a quick show. Let's do our quick hits. The Masters happened this week.
Tiger Woods finished the entire round.
He did. Good for him. That was a win. Because, like I said, a year ago, we didn't know he was going to be walking, let alone walking the entire course and playing. So that was awesome. On top of it, Scotty Schauffele won the Masters, earning himself a a green jacket.
Green jacket.
And then
10 under par.
Yeah. And then, did you hear his interview afterwards?
No, I didn't.
He said, "I do this for the glory of God, and that is it."
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And spoiler alert, if you're a fan of The Masked Singer and you watch The Masked Singer, we totally understand if you want to tune out and stop the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, I actually have to leave because I haven't watched it. So Rich is going to give all the spoilers. I'm going to hear them. My wife's going to be annoyed that I know them, but whatever. We're going to go for it.
All right.
It's going to happen. So Rich, spoil this week's episode. We had a double elimination.
Yep, double elimination.
So I'm guessing, I mean, I already kind of know, but if the armadillo didn't go home, then I'm not watching any of it.
Yeah, the armadillo went home.
Okay, I don't care. After that, I don't care.
And it was Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Wow.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Okay. I mean, he can't sing that well, so I'm not surprised. Okay.
Yeah, he came on the show because he saw how fun it was. And then in his unmasking interview, he said, and then I found out I had to sing.
What did he think he was going to do? Dance around? Was he going to be
the tiger, whatever.
McPhee's husband last year?
Oh, where he just
played the piano?
I don't know. Well, you had Roger Gronkowski on there. He didn't really sing that well, but
he rapped.
He stayed on the show because he was active, energetic, and he had good stage presence.
Okay, well, whatever. Okay. And then
it came down to the ringmaster and the teddy bear. This teddy.
I have liked the teddy bear.
So
in my theory, they have to have one from each group.
That's what was my theory as well.
I think, and I know this, you kind of spoiled it already for me, but if I were to guess, I would have said the teddy bear goes on then.
You would be incorrect, Mike, as the teddy bear went home.
Okay.
And it was Jennifer Holliday.
Okay.
From a kind of a gospel singer, but also was in the movie Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
So
Jennifer Hudson?
Holiday.
Okay.
Holiday.
I don't know her.
Jessica Holiday or Holiday.
Okay.
So she said that she did the show kind of as a tribute to her fans because she was guest on the show so many times.
Okay.
So she thought she needed to come on the show for her fans.
Okay.
So the ringmaster moves on to two goods.
Okay. I really hope that it's not another good in the from the last group, but that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So Rich, before we end the show, do you have any shout-outs to give?
To your daughter, a happy birthday. 1 year old, Mike.
Yeah, my baby girl's a year old. Yesterday was her birthday, so happy birthday to her. Grandpa Sexy Rexy Scranton
All right.
had his birthday on Tuesday. That's a double-edged shout-out. And anybody that knows the story there knows why. We love you, Grandpa. Been great. Been great. We give you a shout-out, and hope you had a great 89-year birthday.
Awesome.
Good times. So, folks, we thank you for joining the show. It's Easter weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's Good Friday. We celebrate, as harsh as it is, and as bad as we know that the beating he took, we celebrate the death of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without that death, we have no hope. That death brings hope. And sitting on this side of that weekend, we know Easter is coming, where his resurrection brings us new life. And if you don't know that truth, you can reach out to Rich and I. We'll be glad to share it with you. It's Easter, folks. Remember that he is the reason that we are here. We love you. We thank you. We ask that you remember his sacrifice for you today. God bless. We will see you next week. And we might be in person again.
Might be.
So, folks,
Wait
thanks.
to see.
We will see you next week. God bless.